he was certain that he was fine. I just felt that, you know, and with obviously with Nathan out there, we just felt that it just made sense not to push him or put him in harm's way at all. You know, a cramp could be an oblique. So I just felt at that time we'd take him out of the game and evaluate him, which we did, and then tomorrow we'll see how he comes in and potentially do some testing on him.
You don't think any IL or anything?
You know, we're hopeful that it doesn't come to that, but given where we're at in the season, it's certainly not off the table.
And then as far as the game, what you think overall of Gonsolin today?
I thought Tony was good. I mean, I think that even without his best stuff, he was able to navigate 24, 25 hitters. I don't think his slider was as consistent as it has been to the righties. I think I wouldn't even call the homer that he gave up a mistake. It was a 3-2 split down and in. Kid took a good swing on it, so I don't even call that a mistake. So he worked behind more than he typically has, but again, when he's going that low, he can still navigate and still put out a quality start.
What went into the decision to take Craig out?
It was the second night for him in a row, and I just felt that the amount of pitches he's thrown, the stress, having a fresh Vessia available, I just didn't want to push him any further.
Do you go into situations like that with a certain pitch count number in mind, or is it more sort of how his stuff is looking, especially in that last at-bat?
Well, anytime you bring in the closer, I don't think I'm thinking about someone behind him. I think the stress is one thing, but you know, when you get upwards past the mid-20s and you get into the 30s, I didn't want him to start that at bat at that point. So it just felt for me, obviously to finish a game is something that he takes a lot of pride in, but I just felt that there was only diminishing returns at that point.
Dave, Tony never, really gives off much of a vibe or emotion, so does that make it any tougher for you to read him, to really get a line on him during a game?
No, not really. I think that he's very stoic and certainly doesn't give me much as far as conversations, but it's just more of, I'm watching his pitch making, I'm watching body language, and also just understanding what he's been through in recency, what he has as we look out as far as potential starts, all that stuff, for me, I kind of consider when I said to make a move.
Have we asked you yet if you should start the All-Star game?
No, you know what, I guess thankfully, but not thankfully, is that's not my decision.
As a fan, are you kind of enjoying the discussion, whether it be Sandy or Tony or Graydon or like?
Yeah, I am. When you can be a part of that discussion, that means you've got a couple pitchers that are deserving. So I don't think that any of those decisions are wrong. Obviously, he's got his own guy in Max Fried who's going to be there. Sandy's having a fantastic season. Met him a few years ago, a great young man, and obviously our two guys. So as far as starting the game, I think that you can put Julio in the mix as an all-star, but as far as starting, I think that there's four really, names that you can't go wrong with.
Dave, Mike Riddle passed away. I would like to know your thoughts and how would you remember?
Well, Mike is a baseball lifer, and I consider him a friend, and my heart goes out to him and his family. And he impacted the Dodger organization for decades. I learned a lot from him, talking about players and just seeing the game. And it doesn't matter where on the map there was a baseball game, if there's a potential prospect, Mike was willing to be there and put his eyes on him. So he lived a great life, and he's certainly going to be missed.
Dave, are we past the point where what Tony's doing is not extraordinary, but now just expected?
It is. I've been past that point. I think, we just got to make sure that we kind of manage him the right way. But as far as performance expectation, yeah, he's passed all the tests for me as far as the consistency every fifth day.
Are you concerned with the hit by pitches?
But
Hit by pitches?
no. Tonight Mookie got hit on a cutter that backed up. Trace, I think that lefty just lost it right. there's certainly no intent.
Just to clarify, Brusdar, think it's a cramp, or you guys are gonna?
It was a
test?
cramp.
Okay, the test tomorrow.
That's what
see
he
if it's
said.
more.
But we're still gonna continue to test and see how he feels tomorrow.